Hey everybody, welcome to Metro Scene. I'm Marvin Jackson. We are here at Arena Stage where August Wilson's Jitney is playing. In a moment, you'll meet some of the cast members. So don't go away. Metro Scene is up next.
Jitney is important to today's audiences and yesterday's audiences and tomorrow's audiences because the opportunity to see people of color wanting, needing, and achieving everything that's called the American dream. Because all of August's plays contain people that look like you and me, people of color, trying to attain the most simple of life's values: freedom, liberty, justice, equality. You shouldn't have to fight for those things. God gave you that. In every one of August's plays, that's what we're fighting for.
We're at Arena Stage and I am with Ray Anthony Thomas, and he is Turnbow. One of my favorite characters in Jitney, which is playing right here at Arena Stage. And I'm hearing now that you've done this play several times.
Yeah, this is the fourth character I've played in this show. Okay. Not in this particular show, but I've done 6 different productions. So I played the Numbers Man a couple times. I played Fillmore a couple times. I played Becker once, and now I'm playing Turnbow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could have written this thing.
Well,
you know the script.
I feel like I've memorized half of it anyway.
Yeah. So tell me about Turnbow. What is it about him that makes him?
It's everybody seems to identify with him. He seems to be that person who seems to know everything. And if you want to find out what's going on in the community, there's that person. You don't know how they get the information. You don't know what they had to do to get it, but they always got what you need to know. And my take on him is he's not particularly malicious or anything like that, but I feel like he's a curious person. He's a caring person, and that's probably why he's so. My wife would say, "I'm just concerned. I'm not nosy. I'm concerned."
Yeah.
No, boy, ain't nobody studying you. Champ that.
Yeah, I done told you who you playing with now. Can't nobody beat me. I'm like Muhammad Ali. I'm the greatest.
Young brother, let me have $4. I got to go.
Well, come on and move, Checker Champ. I must say, it's very much a fun character to play. I'm having a good time doing it.
And you were saying a lot of people relate to that character.
Seems like
there are a lot of Turnbows out here. Huh?
Well, I get a lot of, you mind your own business now. Don't make me come over there, that kind of stuff as you're walking down the street. But he's an important driving force within the play because a lot of stuff seems to start with the information he has. Again, it's a lot of fun to play.
All right, and are there any particular characters that you like to play in Jitney, or you like doing them all?
Well, I really enjoyed playing Becker. Not as much fun as the other characters though, because he's the one who really carries the load. He has all the heavy lifting, emotionally, I think, more than anything else. I did like playing Fillmore because of his simple outlook on life and the way he enjoys his free time when he's not working. He's a hard-working man, And Sheely, of course, what can you say about Sheely? He's the number man.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, he probably knows as much as Turnbow,
Right.
but he gathers his information another way, But I had a chance to go up on the hill and see the Jitney station that he based this play on, and the fellas, and this stage is bigger than the joint that
kidding.
you know,
Wow.
the place was like a storefront, you know, and it had a payphone, it had 3 or 4 seats around, and then it had all these cars outside, you know, parked on the curb, and all the cats are like, you see them, they're you know, shining their car or cleaning out the trunk, or you know, or they're just sitting there reading the paper in their car, you know, just waiting for the call. The person who took me up there locked his keys in the car. And so he wanted to, maybe the Jitney joint had a Jimmy bar. So, and no one wanted to talk to him until he mentioned August. He said, well, you know, I was an acquaintance of August, and I have this person here who just wanted to come see some of the places he wrote about. And everybody went, oh, Little Red? Oh, you knew Little Red? All right. The next thing you know, he's got his keys out the car, you know. August seems to carry a lot of goodwill up on the Hill, you know, because they were so proud of the fact that there was someone writing about their lives, you know. As someone said, you know, he's made kings out of garbage men, you know. He's responsible for carrying forth our stories, and people take pride in knowing that their culture is being represented on stage. So we do owe August that much, at least. And being the great writer he is, we probably owe him more than we can really give back to him, you know.
You and Youngblood, you guys have a lot going on, you know,
Yeah.
in this play. And talk about that relationship with you and him. And, you know, of course, you kind of try to break it up between him and Rena, who, you know, we're going to be talking to. But
Yeah.
talk about that. And there's a very powerful scene in here.
I'm still trying to sort it out, and I probably always will, but I feel like there's a little bit of envy coming from Turnbow toward Youngblood, because Youngblood, you know, he was a Vietnam vet. He went over there, did some fighting. Seems like he's trying to get his life together. He's on the right track. But Turnbow can only see what he sees. So what he sees is Youngblood going the wrong way. And so he's trying to help his Youngblood's girlfriend, Rena, see the light, so to speak. I'm trying not to give away too much plot, because y'all got to come see the show.
They got to come
But,
see this.
and it does come to a head once or twice. So, but you know, the craft of August is you see it, you kind of see it being laid down, and then when it bursts forth, you go, oh my goodness, I didn't know it was going to go that far, kind of thing. So,
Yeah, like you said, he kind of starts laying it out there early. And
suitably
then,
cryptic, but
yes.
you know, like I said, come see the show, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me about this cast. I mean, you guys seem to get along very well.
Well,
and that's important, right?
The advantage of it is I've worked with, you know, most of these guys before, and it feels like you're coming home, you know, to be surrounded by all these people who are consummate actors, consummate Wilsonian actors. We have a couple of new faces coming in who are just as adroit, just as skillful. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the tour.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so happy to be here. I can't describe
Wow.
it.
Okay.
So.
And you're an actor who goes way back to your college days.
Yeah.
You studied math, and then you decided to go over to acting.
I did, yeah.
Talk about that, how you got into acting and that kind of thing.
well,
and
when
what acting means to you as a person.
Well, when I first started acting, I realized I was doing it, you know, mostly for the girls, you know. But then when I got to college, I was a math major. My parents said, you know, this acting stuff is fun, but it ain't gonna put food on the table, kind of thing. But then I got a chance to do a show with Andy Devine. Remember Andy Devine? And he was, you know, I introduced him to my dad, and after that, acting was all right, you know. And then I realized I did want to pursue it a little heavier, so I switched my major over to a double major between math and drama. And I was lucky, while in college, I got a chance to work around El Paso in the different paying venues. And then when I got out of college, I just moved straight to New York, you know, and I was lucky enough to get my equity card within 4 months, followed by 2 years of not being able to get arrested, but then all of a sudden things started picking up, and I've been doing pretty well since then. You know, I find acting to be the one thing in this world that I do better than most anything else. I get a lot of gratification out of being responsible to the life I produce on stage. You know, it's almost like a sacred calling to me. I don't know how to describe it any more than that. It's almost like, you know, I'm a monk and I'm going out in the world and I'm trying to do good deeds, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
What's it like at curtain call time?
It depends. Sometimes I'm so zenned out and relaxed, and other times I'm so nervous. And I can't figure out why. Some nights I'm like, oh, this is great, I'm gonna skate through this, and other times, I don't know what's gonna happen tonight, kind of thing. But
And
that's
then
the beauty of it, you know?
And
You
then
just
at the
never
end
know.
of the performance, you're...
At the end of the performance, hopefully I just feel good. I feel like, you know, I left everything up there I needed to leave up there. And, you know, and sometimes I'm tired, and it's a good kind of tired, you know, it's emotional, mental, it's all that stuff, you know, hopefully.
And doing August Wilson's work.
If it weren't for August, there were times when I wouldn't have had any work, you know? Every character of his that I've played, I find so rewarding. There's a couple times when, you know, after I get through with the production, I don't want to do nothing else for a while, you know? I can't do that often because I gotta, you know, pay the rent and stuff, but I find it so rewarding that there's nothing else I want to do sometimes, you know? And I have given up some more lucrative work in order to do an August Wilson play, you know?
All right, man. Thanks so much for joining us on
you
Metro
bet.
Scene. Ray Anthony Thomas.
All three of those.
All right, we'll be right back. Good.
Oh man, you were in the circle. You were in there now, man. Oh, you in there. I was like, yeah. I kind of from then.
Coming up, Jitney cast members Nija Okoro and Brian D. Coates when Metro Scene returns.
I would like to call myself a Wilsonian. I will. Maybe I'll start saying it. But you know, it's because I'm still in awe of everyone like that have come. You know what I mean? Like Felicia and Ruben and you know and Anthony Chisholm and just all these wonderful, wonderful people that I just still I don't know. But I think I'll be 85 still talking about, I don't know yet if I can call myself, you know? I mean, you know, because at this point, I've been in more plays than I've seen, Wilson plays than I've seen.
So Chisholm,
Four.
he's done a lot, huh?
Oh,
Chisholm.
yeah.
He's a bad dude in this.
Ooh,
I mean,
he's beautiful.
he's
He's just beautiful.
Every one of my people who comes to see the play, they can find almost nothing to talk about, but that it's like, is he really? I mean, it's like he's really back there taking a nip or something. Is he really like?
I
He
mean,
is brilliant.
he's
can't
it's
teach
almost
that.
like perfect.
Yeah.
It's I don't see how anybody could play it any better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'm understudying it.
Oh my God.
No pressure.
Talk about something. There's no pressure, right?
Thanks to your generosity, Marines have delivered Christmas to children in need since 1947.
All right, back here at Arena Stage, I am so fortunate I get to be here with Nija Okoro.
Yes.
Love that name.
Thank you.
And also Brian D. Coates. Got to keep that D in there, right? Now talk about the roles that you all play here in Jitney.
Well, I play Rena, and Rena is the girlfriend of Youngblood, who works at the Jitney station. And Rena is a young mother of a 2-year-old with Youngblood, and throughout the play, she's fighting for her family, fighting for understanding, fighting for partnership, true partnership. And she's also an upwardly mobile woman of the world because she goes to school, she's studying accounting, and she just has dreams that are bigger than her circumstance for her kid and for her family.
All right, and Brian?
I play Fillmore, and Fillmore is a doorman at a local hotel, which is not too far from the Jitney station. I come and I support the community. I like to have a good time. I've never missed a day of work. I'm very, I'm a good worker. I just, never been late, and I take pride in that. But on my off time, I find, a little adventure, a little fun. I have a girlfriend who's not always accepting of my decision to stay out at night. And, I won't give away too much, but I'm still dedicated to the community that's involved in this station.
So talk about your role in this. You have played in several August Wilson plays.
I have.
And some great roles too.
Yeah.
And talk about this one versus some of the other roles you've played.
Well, wow. So, people often talk about August Wilson not writing enough for women. And it's just so interesting because every role I've ever played in his plays, these are the most full women who carry so much with them. It's like when he writes them, he writes them.
UPS money. I had some debts to pay. I told you that too. I told you. I wouldn't see no money for a while.
What kind of debt?
Look, baby, just hang with me a while. That's all I ask, just for a minute.
I've been hanging with you. That's what you said last time? Hang with me and it'll all turn around? When's it gonna turn around, Darnell?
Soon, baby, soon. Just hang with me.
So it's interesting because the last role I did was earlier this year, and it was in 2 Trains Running, and I played Risa. And it's so interesting because Risa's still in my spirit, she just lives, she's such a beautiful soul. And I feel like Rena is the perfect role to play after Risa, because I feel like they're almost two of the same. Rena goes this way when it comes to her heart and love and opening up, and Risa, she closed off, and because of pain and hurt, and I imagine Rena also has been through a lot. She talks about some of it, but it's interesting that they go in different directions with how they choose to deal with their circumstances in life when it comes to love and men and hurt. So that's it's just beautiful to have that experience.
And you're the only woman
And
in the cast.
I'm the only woman in both of those
in
casts.
both those.
Yeah. And that's been just lovely. I'm a woman who, I didn't grow up with a father in my life, so I've always had an affinity toward men, masculine energy, especially older men. And there are several in this play. And they've all just embraced me and just have been so kind and lovely. And it's healing for my spirit, but it's lovely. It's just, these are just such good guys.
Any special moments in this play for both of you? You want to share with us any Without giving away.
Without giving it
Yeah,
giving away.
yeah.
Well, I do like Becker's mantra in one of the scenes where he talks about the nature of the service that they provide. And I like something that he says that is, he takes the attention away from it being like his establishment to it's bigger.
It's bigger.
Than
I love that
his,
too.
you know that line? You know, I
Mm-hmm.
won't tell the line, but it's like, it's his mantra is like, our service to the community is bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us.
They all gonna flow together all the time. That's life. Long as it don't break apart. When you look around, you'll see that all you got is each other.
I think my character is an extension of that. It's just like giving, you know, just a sort of giving sort of quality with as it relates to the community and the upbuilding of the community and the strengthening and tightening of the community. And to me, that's sort of what August Wilson represents too, is because he selflessly sort of just like wrote these characters as like a gift, you know? It's just like, he like gifted us with these characters who are not like, their intention. I mean, I can think, and if I could just talk about a few roles that I did with Gabriel in Fences. This is why I performed it twice. It's just like through his challenges, he's a giver by nature. You know, he has his own sort of like made up sort of way of providing fruits and vegetables to the community, and it's just like he brings Rose the flower all the time, and he's a giver, and it's just like something about that just like resonates with me.
Yeah, he is.
I was thinking as soon as you asked that question, lately, and actually it always has gotten me in rehearsal. I mean, there's so many beautiful moments in this play. I mean, it really is hard to narrow down like one moment, but Booster, who has just gotten out of prison after 20 years, has a scene with Fielding. And basically in the scene, Fielding says, anyone can tell you's a connoisseur of fine haberdashery to him.
I love it.
I get chills all the time because there's so many men in our community especially who have been incarcerated. I mean, I have plenty in my family, and who come out and they have no opportunities and they're treated as second-class citizens. They've paid their debts to society, and sometimes they weren't even, you know, there for a good reason in the first place, but that's another story. And they're treated like garbage. And he uplifts this man and lets him know, you should not be wearing that suit. You deserve a suit made for a king. And I always get, he just lifts this man up. And that's what happens a lot in this play. Men lifting each other up, men being vulnerable with each other, men seeing each other's excellence. You know,
and what Francois said in the talkback, men loving on each other.
Men loving on each other.
And it being, because you hardly ever
And
see
you don't
that
see that. You don't see it represented.
But it happens all the time. That's how I grew up. That's all I ever saw.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
you don't see it on screen.
That's
You don't see it in the theaters.
No, but you're going to see it in the August Wilson play.
Yes,
You're going to see it in the play, in his plays,
Yeah,
always.
What else do you think people who come and view this play have to look forward to when they see you guys out here? What's so special?
I'm going on that talkback yesterday, and just like, that's why I love talkback so much, because I can just like listen to what people's responses are. And it just comes from such visceral, but when a lady says, I knew every single person on that stage, I have one of those people in my community. That's what it's about. It's just like when you can see your life and your surroundings and the value in just everydayness on stage, I think we've pretty much done our job.
And it doesn't matter that it was 1977, right?
Oh no! It's so relatable. It's today. You know, in some ways in a bad way, but in many ways it's related. Yeah, no. A woman came up to me after the show yesterday, and she just said, it's just piggybacking on what you said. She goes, "Girl, this is your song. And she's talking about Rena. and so she was like, look up this song. And I looked it up and it was like the perfect song for me. She said, as soon as you came on, I just said, that's her. She knew me. Wow. But that's because Wilson writes these characters who are relatable. And the other thing you're gonna do is you're gonna laugh. And you're gonna laugh at stuff that, it's not written as necessarily funny, but it's so honest and real. You're just gonna laugh at so much in this play. And then, of course, there's just heartbreaking, beautiful, as we do in life.
We laugh at things that aren't necessarily like ha-ha funny, but it's just like, oh, that's so real. And that's just like so right and so funny at the same time. It's just like, oh,
Right.
The way that.
Right. Every time Sheely comes through the door.
Yeah.
Our character, numbers runner, who comes through the door. Every time he comes through the door, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he's just being him. He's not doing anything.
I remember that guy in real life.
Yeah, he ain't trying to make nobody laugh. He's just him. But we recognize that as being true, and so it tickles you.
I think we had a guy in our neighborhood. They called him Dollar Bills.
Yeah.
I think that was him.
That was him. That makes
I was a little young, but I think that was him.
That was Dollar Bill.
We all know Sheely.
Yeah. Well, how did you get into acting, and how did you get into acting? We got a few seconds left.
High school.
Okay.
I was new to a city, new to a state. Was sort of intimidated by that whole experience, but I remember meeting with the vice principal on selecting my courses, and I was just kind of like a shrugger, like I didn't know what to. She's like, I'm gonna put you, recommend that you go into this speech and debate class, that we just started. It'll get you used to being in front of people and get you used to, and also that teacher also happened to be the acting teacher, so I was sort of like in her class for acting, in her class for forensics, which is what we called it. I auditioned for the School of the Arts after I graduated, and I came to New York, and the rest is history.
And what about you, Nija?
Well, me, I grew up in the South Bronx, and it wasn't a very safe neighborhood. And my mother, she was a single mom who used to, work jobs and was like out of the home a lot. I was a latchkey kid, as they called them, and she put me in Harlem School of the Arts as a way to just keep me busy. And so I took a lot of different things like dance and, can't sing. And I just fell in love with acting. And I think it was because I was a bit of an overachiever. Like everything was easy to me in school. I mean, I also went to public school, mostly. So it was just easy. But acting, from the beginning, my first role was Liza Doolittle. Oh, wow. I just thought it was like difficult in the best way possible. And I still find it, fascinating. And so I fell in love then, and then from there I was like, I'm going to LaGuardia, the Fame School. Is the only school I applied to. My school told me, oh, no, nobody from here has ever gotten into that school. And I was like, well, that's the school I'm going to. And I got in. It was the only school I applied to. Then I also went to Juilliard later on a full scholarship. So I just
So you just always had that confidence too.
But I also think I'm so used to adversity, like people telling me what I can't do and how I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, most of the friends I grew up with didn't even finish high school, like the ones from my neighborhood. So it's like, I think there was something in me that was like, no, I'm gonna do it.
You and Mary J. Blige up there.
Listen.
Wasn't she up in that
Yeah,
area?
she was in like Mount Vernon area, yeah.
What, J-Lo maybe?
J-Lo is from the Boogie Down.
See, all the great women come from that area.
Hustlers.
Along with Nija, right?
I know, right? Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, Brian D. and Nija, thank you for being on
you.
Metro
This has
Scene.
been awesome.
And keep doing great things.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All
Come
right.
back.
I got to come back and see it one more time.
Oh, good deal.
All right.
You might see some little changes.
Yeah, you're going to enjoy yourself again. Thanks for having us.
We hope you enjoyed this edition of Metro Scene. Thanks to Nija Okoro, Ray Anthony Thomas, and Brian D. Coates from the cast of Jitney right here at Arena Stage. I'm Marvin Jackson. We'll see you next time.